Hey guys, welcome back to the Military Man channel. Before we get into an unboxing, I want to give a special thanks to Mini Outdoors Kentucky for helping us acquire this firearm. I've been in the search for one of these for approximately 2 years now. If you're curious what this might be, this is going to be Springfield Armory's SA-35 9mm handgun. Now, if you're not familiar with the SA-35, it's pretty much going to be a Brown & High Power copy. And if you're not familiar with the Brown & High Power, it's going to be one of John Moses Browning's last designs. It actually didn't become completed before he passed away. He actually passed away before the design was completed. Then a Belgian designer, I can't remember his name, but he completed the design, and it's been one of the world's most popular pistols since then. And Springfield Armory got his take on one of these and kind of redesigned it and tweaked some things. And ever since they announced, I've been trying my best to get my hands on one of these. So big thanks to Mini Outdoors Kentucky for helping me acquire these. Check them out for all your firearms needs. And if you may be interested in some firearms that you have not been able to acquire, go check them out. They might have just what you need. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into our unboxing. You can see we got our Springfield Armory, the standard cardboard box. We done showed you the label there, SA-35. Inside your box, you get your soft pistol case, which includes your handgun. You can see you get your owner's manual and all your information that speaks about the SA-35. You see your chamber indicator and also a cable lock on the inside. But you're not interested in the cardboard box. You're interested in the pistol. So let's go ahead and unzip our handgun here. And there it is, guys. The new, or newer, I should say, Springfield Armory SA-35. Let's go ahead and get this pouch out of the way and get a closer look at our handgun. Okay, now we got our case out of the way. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at our Springfield SA-35. Before we do, let's go ahead and do a safety check. We'll see our magazine's empty, lock our side of the rear, pistol's clear, safety check, and safety's on. Now, the Brown & High Power has always intrigued me for the sole fact that both Allied and Axis forces used them during the Second World War. Germany took over the FN plant and continued to manufacture FN high power pistols, and you can still find those today with German proof marks on the sides and frame. And funny enough, Canada actually still manufactures them at the Inglis plant and use those. They actually sent us quite a few to China, and you can find those with kind of a long leaf tangent side on top of the slides, which is pretty cool. And at the time this was introduced in 1935, it was a true wonder 9. It held a massive 13 rounds for the time, and it pretty much dwarfed every pistol on the battlefield. And the design is still relevant today. You know, we Americans really love our 1911, but the Brown High Power's kind of stayed around, and it's one of the John Brown's last designs. Like I said, he passed away in the 1920s and I think late 20s, and he a Belgian designer who picked up the design and finished it for him. So you can definitely see some 1911-esque things when you look at a Brown High Power. No, John Moses Brown was involved in this, and it stood the test of time all these years. Now, what Springfield Armory's done is they've kind of took the original design and they tweaked some things, but staying true to the original. To my knowledge, a lot of the surplus parts and also original parts can fit on these, but things like your trigger are not able to, and because of the deletion of the magazine disconnect on these SA-35s, which to me is a much improvement and one of the design changes. If you don't know what a magazine disconnect is, the pistol cannot be dropped, the hammer cannot be dropped on the pistol if the magazine's out. Now, a lot of people don't like that, so Springfield Armory deleted that, and you can see on our SA-35, you can drop the hammer while the magazine's out, which I think is very cool. We've also got a few small, minute changes, like we can see we got our extended safety there, which is easy to manipulate with the thumb. You can carry on cock and lock, easy to knock it off there. We can see we got our upgraded sights here. We got our U-notch blacked out in the rear and our white dot in the front. These are Novak cuts, so you can probably change these out for any other style Novak sights if you do, please. Now, this pistol is going to be completely forged steel, slide and frame with a cold hammer forged barrel. And for the price point of these pistols are come at, I think is extreme value. I think MSRP is $699, which is insane to me for what kind of value you get. I've also heard rumors or reports that there is no MIM parts in this, which means machine invested molding, I believe, or machine casting. Like there's no machined invested cast parts in these, so that's really, really cool. Definitely getting a good solid pistol, and just to feeling it right off the bat, guys, there's no like play in the slide. There's no, it's a very, very solid pistol, and I look forward to getting on the range and really trying it out. I've heard rumors that these pistols right around the 1200 to 1500 round mark start having issues with extractors. That could have been on earlier pistols. I'm not sure if they fixed that, but on the early guns they would have issues with it extracting. So I'm very excited to get this out on the range and kind of scratch the high power itch I've had, because I've never owned a high power. I've always wanted to own them, but I've never got around to getting my hands on a good original or a good copy until now. There's tons of different manufacturers. Over 90 countries use the Brown & High Power, and I think over 50 still use them today. You've got so many different variations of Browning, the original company, and I think even some Hungarian copies are made just like the originals. But I want to pick up kind of a newer firearm to get that itch scratched and just kind of just to shoot it and enjoy it. Well, Springfield Armory did too is they increased the magazine size on these by 15 rounds to the original 13, only by changing the follower. There's no dimension changes to the magazine, so these new magazines will fit in your old high powers, and old high power mags will fit in these, which is very, very cool. I think it's a very, very cool thing that Springfield Armory's done, because really 15 rounds is kind of considered low capacity nowadays in a modern 9mm handgun. So definitely 13 is considered low capacity considering how big this handgun is. It's relatively the same size of a Glock 17, so it's a relatively big handgun and all steel. So definitely increasing the magazine size was a good idea. My particular pistol, come with 2 extra magazines. Now I do believe these are made by Medgar. We can see right there it says, I thought it said, yeah, made in Italy. Which Medgar, if you don't know, makes a lot of OEM manufactured magazines for different companies. 6 Hour being one of them. So that's good to see that Medgar, you're getting a good solid magazine from Springfield Armory using Medgar. So that's another plus. But yeah, guys, I kind of just want to hop on here and show you guys what these SA-35s look like. This is my first one I've ever handled. Like I said, I've been looking for one of these for close to 2 years now, and just now got my hands on one. I'm looking forward to getting it out on the range and trying it out. Kind of a old take, or a new take on an old modern class, or old classic rather. And I think Springfield Armory just really hit it out of the park with this one. But anyway, guys, it's going to be all for now. If you like what you see on the Military Man channel, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And also leave me a comment. It's much appreciated and helps us out what we do here. That's going to be all, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. God bless.